with the possibility of EZA 2 on the rise, I want to talk about some units that would benefit from a second EZA, as well as units that I believe will be the first to have a second EZA. Now, out the gate, I feel like units that would be the first to have a second EZA would have to be, of course, this AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku, because this guy is the first EZA to touch down in Dokkan. Now, there is a bit of a issue with this guy being the first EZA, and that's mostly because we already have a mega powerful Super Saiyan 3 Goku, that being the Dokkan Fest Super Saiyan 3 Goku from the Hirudegarn movie that we just got. It's the STR one, and they would have to make this guy vastly different from that guy, and I highly doubt that would happen, considering the fact that this guy would be the first EZA 2 or the second EZA, and B, him being the second EZA, it's weird to say, would he wouldn't have anything different from Goku, I believe, because I feel as if though they would make this guy damage, and you guys know I love damage, but we're in the defensive meta, so if this guy's not Blue Kaioken Goku, then I feel like it would be a bit of a awkward thing for Dokkan to do. Even though if we take a look at this guy's pre-EZA 2 palette, yo, that's so weird to say. Pre-EZA 2 palette. Like, there's essentially nothing here. This guy on release, of course, for his EZA, a very, very powerful EZA. For certain, him being the first EZA in Dokkan, a very powerful EZA, certainly. Go back and watch those old videos on this guy's EZA at the time in November of 2017. He was a very, very impressive, powerful EZA. And the reason why that is because this guy, of course, had this very high attack stat after you EZA'd him, of course, because you get stats buffs after EZAing a character. And that coupled with the fact that he gets 120% attack for 7 turns, yes? So that 120% attack plus this 18,000 attack stat in Rainbow, of course, post EZA, made this guy hit so goddamn hard. And I believe Super Saiyan 3 Bardock was he out at the time? Okay, we're not going to go ahead and preclude to Super Saiyan 3 Goku, but the example of the matter is that this guy would have to be the second EZA, because this guy is the first EZA in Dokkan. Just at all. Like, he's the first EZA in Dokkan. I couldn't find the right set of words, but yes, it would make sense for him to be the first EZA that would come to, well, the second EZA. It's so weird to say, like, what would they call it? Like, Ultimate Extreme Z Awakening? Like, Ultra EZA? Anyways, some other units that I would think to be the next set of units after, of course, Super Saiyan 3 Goku. He has to be the first one, regardless of the celebration. Big celebration, small celebration, and for this case, the anniversary, which they're hinting at. I heard. I didn't hear like what they were talking about in conjunction to a second EZA, but it has been a talked about thing for years, and funny enough, I've spoken about this with my friends like years ago, back when I wasn't really that into Dokkan, and I will play it from like time and time again. Like during the summer, I will play Dokkan time and time again, but like when my friends would be into it, I will play it too. But around that time where I was like, just picking up Dokkan, and I was playing it just like time to time, they talked about second EZAs. It's crazy. It's like, what if they gave XYZ a second EZA? Like, what if we had like an EZA 2? Like, many people have talked about this, so it's not out of the realm of possibility for Dokkan to do this, because I did see a post on the Dokkan subreddit. Shout out to the Dokkan subreddit. I mean, just goated people. Shout out to both of them too. I know there's 2 Dokkan subreddits. There's 2 main ones, so shout out to both of them and shout out to all of them just in general. Who cares? But someone did say that a lot of people were already talking about EZA 2 being a thing in Dokkan. Well, they were just like shooting out a pipe dream for EZA 2 to be in Dokkan. And funny enough, me and my friends, we were those people too. And the thing is that is true. That is very true. A lot of people have shot that idea out, like, jokingly, and look where we are now. So with that being said, this has to be the first to EZA 2. it just makes sense because technically he is the first EZA, so him being the first EZA 2 would make sense. So next units that would come after, they would have to get all these units out the way. If we're essentially following the order of EZAs, they would have to go ahead and go to TEQ Beerus, TEQ Cell, of course, and Janemba? Are these ordered? I don't think these are ordered. But yeah, they'd have to go specifically in order. Oh, is TEQ Beerus the second EZA ever? I don't remember, but they would have to go in order from Super Saiyan 3 Goku and onward, like how they did from the OG 3 key and 3000 attack leaders all the way up until the 120% leaders and then up to category leaders. Because let's be completely honest, I did see a couple of people say on Twitter, and I saw like a little thing on Reddit where people are like, oh, what if this guy was to get a second EZA? Like, let's give him a second EZA immediately. Like, no, guys, he's not getting a second EZA. Let's just be honest. Units that have gotten their EZAs within recent years and recent months are not getting a second EZA. That's not gonna happen. Let's just nip that in the bud real quick. Like, for example, Physical Broly is not getting a second EZA. And Goku Black, as much as I wish he got a second EZA, it is 120% not gonna happen. Now, I did not watch the live stream for the little fan meetup thing, but I did see the little card arts, and I did not hear what they had to say about a second EZA. I'm pretty sure I already said that in the video already, but I have to say that again just to pitch it out there, just in case there's like a little different thing that I haven't, that I wasn't, you know, informed on. But I'm just going off of the fact that, because I saw a little like thumbnails and titles of people saying that EZA 2 might have been hinted in Dokkan, so I just want to go ahead and throw my hat into the into the arena and just talk about it, because this is a game changer. And one other Reddit comment I saw, shout out to this person, if you are watching this video, you are a GOAT. I saw one Reddit comment say that it does make a lot of sense. This is along the lines of what they said. So it does make sense that they are doing an EZA 2 because it's going to revive a lot of units that suck. That's along the lines of what the person said, but that is true. Because, for example, it's like all the 120% EZAs, like, you're exclusively using them for Battle Road and Dokkan Battlefield. And, like, even then, it's like, I mean, we've gotten so many units. It's like, you can make the case, bro, the 120% characters, they're like never on banners, like, ever. Like, the only time you're able to obtain these characters is like for New Year step-ups and for like little like stone packs, like a blue stone, like a purple stone, to get it as like a little combo. These characters are never back. Like, are these guys even, like, they're useful, certainly for their leader skill, but giving them a second EZA, it's like, why not? Certainly, why not? For sure. Man, I don't even know. Like, okay, let's go back and talk about characters that, well, actually, let's talk about characters that need a second EZA, because I feel like I pretty much already precluded on the topic that we're gonna go ahead and start in the order of the older units and then move our way up to newer units, of course, to the present, which is gonna take a while. But hey, look how far EZAs have gotten so far. So with EZA 2, what units need EZAs? I mean, already out the gate, this guy's EZA is underwhelming, but I'm not gonna say him. And I know some people are gonna be like, what? Not him? There are way worse EZAs than this guy. That's just, this guy, compared to the next cards I'm gonna pull up, there are way worse EZAs than this guy. And we're gonna start with in Goku Black. Self-explanatory, we're not gonna talk about it. This guy needs a second EZA. Just ridiculousness. This design is awful. I'm just gonna say it outright. Another character that needs a second EZA, 120% need a second EZA. I don't know what in the hell they were thinking, because this is just, really? Okay, attack debuffing, cool, I guess. 100% attack and defense, but you have to face a super class enemy, and effective against all types. That's it. So all he has is passive attack debuffing. He's also effective against all types. and he gets 100% attack and defense, but it's restricted to go up against a super class enemy, he needs an EZA too. This is horrendous. This is bad. Like, no bueno, Dokkan, no bueno. Okay, another unit that needs a second EZA. Let's see. Who needs a second EZA? I would honestly say, would it be crazy if I said this guy? I don't think this guy needs a second EZA, but there are people out there who would disagree with me. Does this guy need a second EZA? I don't think so, personally speaking, because he is very valuable to a sense where he's able to tank all normals in the game, but the problem is that he gets cooked in the super, but that's pretty much 91% of the game. No, we're not gonna do that to him. Okay, so these two are essentially need a second EZA, and it's funny because they're both, these fuckers are both int. Oh my god. This guy, you need a second EZA. Like, this card makes me mad. This card makes me so upset. You definitely need one. Who else? Who else needs a second EZA? I know I'm gonna scroll over a unit that you guys are probably screaming to the heavens that I'm supposed to click on, but you 1000% need a second EZA. I don't know what in the hell you were thinking of dropping this guy's EZA prior to Super 17's EZA, but Dokkan, you are smoking crack. There is no way in hell you're gonna drop this unit a month prior to AGL Super 17, where AGL Super 17 is still a runnable unit to this day. Like, no. Why are we giving a 2020 120% leader skill EZA defensive debuffing? Why does he still have this? Guys, he's a June of 2017 unit. Make it make sense. Like, to put that into context, this guy comes out when AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku gets his EZA, like around the same year. Yeah, he gets TEQ Super Saiyan 3 Broly comes out within the same year as AGL Super Saiyan 3 Goku getting an EZA. So the first EZA unit comes out within the same year of this guy's release. So why do we keep the archaic design of having this guy getting a defensive debuff for Key Spear obtained? What unit has this ability? No one. This is horrendous. Absolutely horrendous. So yes, these 4 units, yes. And then there's obviously the obvious units, like all the 120% leader skills are going to eventually get EZA 2s. Now, we're going to go ahead and point out the fact that Super 17 has HG best out of all of them. Not even close. AGL Super 17 is the best 120% leader skill to age out of all of them. Easily. Gotenks is offense, but he does have that dodge chance, but more so he's all offense. Cooler was good on release, and he was considered a mini blue fusions, but of course he's fell off because he's just pretty much a raw defensive build-up unit, well, attack and defensive build-up unit. STR Janemba, underwhelming on release. I'm just going to say it outright. He's pretty much, I would argue, a worse in Janemba, in my opinion. STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku, I would say he was the best EZA TUR on release, but then of course he did get replaced. In Kid Buu, well, of course, Super Saiyan 4 Goku, definitely the best EZA TUR on release, but then he got replaced. But the problem with him is that he is pretty much his raw defense and raw attack. In Kid Buu, just garbage. He's just a mediocre, whack-ass support type unit. I think they should have did a little bit more with him. In Gogeta, very powerful EZA on release, but the problem is that this guy needs Rainbow Orbs, and does he have any defensive ability to fall back on? Let me just go and double check. Yes, he does. He has that 30% chance to dodge, but that should have been a 50% chance to dodge. I don't see why not. That should have been 50. But yes, this guy definitely had a very good EZA on release. The only thing is that he needs Rainbow Orbs. And of course, if he doesn't get Rainbow Orbs, he just gets absolutely annihilated. But his dodge chance is technically a little bit too low to combo with his defense. This guy can definitely, his EZA, second EZA would definitely be a lot better. He's good though. He definitely was good on release, but of course, he is a raw defensive unit with a solid attack stat. But the problem is that, of course, a raw defensive unit today's meta. I mean, this guy's just not going to work out with a 30% chance to dodge. Like, yeah, we're not cooking here, guys. We're not. And of course, he gets that additional attack and that 50% chance to crit. I mean, who gives a damn about the additional attack and crit chance? Because, I mean, I am an offense guy. I've already said that, but we have a million units that can do damage. Everyone on this list can do damage, right? Like, right? Hey, you let me know. Super Saiyan 3 Broly, just terrible. horrendous, garbage design. We released this guy before Super 17. Like, it's ridiculousness. This guy had a good EZA. Let me remind myself of what he does. He 50% chance to rainbow orb change. Like, and of course he gets 30% attack and defense rainbow keys to obtain, which is cool. He's effective against all types for the first 7 turns. It's like, this guy's strictly a offensive base unit. I do like the fact that he does create orbs. He has a chance to create orbs to support his nuking per rainbow key sphere obtained ability, but the problem is that this was never going to age well. So Super 17, the best aging unit out of all the 120% leader skills. Easy. And then of course AGL Super Saiyan 4 Vegeta. The problem is that this guy he was in the shadow of STR Super Saiyan 4 Goku. Pretty much just raw defense essentially. They both do have the super attack counter, like little nullifications, not counter. But yes, that is pretty much that for the 120% leader skills. Any other units that need a second EZA? Obviously all the old ass units need second EZA, so we're not even gonna talk about them. So anything above this line were all the category characters. So for AGL, okay, so we can skip over these two LRs. Android 13 is pretty much raw defense, but I'm not gonna lie, he's okay to me. I think Android 13 is he's okay. He's not bad. He's not good. He is technically a raw defensive unit, and you guys know how units like that age. But for right now, I think he's more so he's carried by androids right now, and androids is definitely a good category team, especially with the addition of the LR androids. AGL Gogeta Blue, I mean, you definitely do not need a EZA. Oh my god. Turles, I could definitely say, yes, Turles pretty much fell off the face of the earth, for certain. It's like, this guy essentially does everything but tank, pretty much. He does everything but tank. It's like he's a support type unit. What else does he get? He's a passive attack debuffer for off-meta content. He does have a good super attack effect, of course, with stun and the, of course, passive attack debuff into super class enemies. And then when he does go into his boost form, he stacks attack and defense with a higher stun chance. He recovers HP, which is nice. 200% attack and defense. He's a support type unit still. 100% defense when it's a super class enemy. He debuffs enemy defense, but that's absolutely atrocious. And he's effective against all types. So really effective against all types. Defensive debuffing, but that's worthless. Defense when going up against super class enemy. Damn, this guy is, this guy's kind of, he does a lot. They could have gave him a little bit more. Now that I'm thinking about it, they could have gave him dodge or damage reduction. I don't see why not when you have another like extreme class or movie boss's character. It's like I'm restricting it to him having to have a movie boss's character with him, but I mean you're gonna run with other movie boss's characters anyways, right? But yeah, I think Turles can use one. Yeah, certainly. He's not as bad as all these guys on release. Certainly not. He's not. But Turles just needs. Turles is okay. Turles is okay, but I definitely think he can use just a little bit more. He can use that extra oomph. The problem is that, of course, LR Turles was... LR Turles right next to this guy, I mean, LR Turles definitely needs his EZA too. Well, not EZA 2, but an EZA, a regular one. I think that... Zamasu's obviously fine. Metal Cooler, it's definitely too soon for this guy. But when I say he needs one, Metal Cooler was definitely pretty good on release with his EZA. He was good. When I say he needs one now, certainly yes, because he is a get hit to build up unit. AGL Lucian Blue Vegeta, I was very high on him, but yeah, there's a bunch of units here that can definitely use it. I don't really want to talk about each and every one of these typings, but as you guys can see, there is probably a unit that I did not bring up that you guys would like to have an EZA 2 on, but these are the units. We can X out Turles. We can X out Turles. Yeah, these are the units that when I see a second EZA, this is what comes to my mind. Especially you. This makes me so mad. When are we going to get another Super Saiyan 3 Broly? Okay. I think that's really about it. Let me know what you guys think down below about a possibility of a second EZA. For certainly, that's very, very interesting. But within all these units, outside of all the older units, which are obviously going to get a second EZA. You know who will have a nasty second EZA? my god. If this guy, all this guy needs is more stats. Damage reduction buildup with his already damage reduction against normal attacks. If he has 2 forms of damage reduction, of course, with his, well, he'll have the damage reduction against normal attacks and, of course, regular damage reduction. Oh my god. Like, this guy with a second EZA. Yo. This guy replaced Injanemba as #1 TUR. Well, #1 EZA TUR. Okay, that's enough. That's enough. This guy with a second EZA. Yo, I'm just like, what would they do? But I think that is really about it. I appreciate you guys watching. Let me know what you guys think about a possibility of a second EZA and who you guys think needs a second EZA. Catch you guys next video. I love you all. Peace.